My name is Basant Sharma, and I represent the DEP company. DEP stands for Detroit Engineered Product. And I have total 25 years experience plus experience in automotive area. And I graduated from MNIT India back in 1995. And before I joined DEP, I think I almost finished 15 years in DEP. And before I joined DEP, I was part of Mahindra and Mahindra. And for some period, I was part of Satyam as well. Today, being a vice president of DEP, my responsibility is to promote technical sales for US geography and to some extent India geography as well. Let me start from the beginning, so that we can understand as a company overall what we do. And engineering solution is one part of that. So basically, we have three main offerings inside the company. One is product development, the hardware product development, and where we basically do the product development from scratch, where we develop our own concept, design concept, and do a detailed design on that, and do all the analysis ourselves. And then we also go to prototype as well. I have several examples where DEP has developed our own product, and I'll give some example of that. Like one we have called engine ion sensor. It's a sensor product which is kind of available in the market now. And what it does basically that you can mount it to any engine. It could be a diesel engine, it could be a gasoline engine, doesn't matter. You can mount it to any engine as a sensor, and basically it adds fuel efficiency. You can get a better fuel economy from this ion sensor, and same time you can also cut down the emission. So this is one kind of product we have. We have several products like that, our own product, and right now we are almost getting ready to launch our own e-scooter in India. As you speak, right now we are in the prototype stage, and pretty soon it will be available in the market to sell. And like that, we have several products. We have close to 50-60 hardware products which we have worked in the last several years or so. And not only we design the product for ourselves, but sometimes we design for customers as well, where customers comes to us and they have some concepts, they have some ideas, and they want to convert into a product. For example, almost close to 5 to 6 years back, we have designed a driverless vehicle, we call people mover, for one of the Saudi Arabian customer. And that entire vehicle, from scratch was developed by DEP, all the way from styling, engineering, design, and design for manufacturing, design for performances. Everything was done by DEP. So as I mentioned, this is our first offering, in terms of product development. And second offering is in the area of the design and services, which we talked about, engineering services. There also we do turnkey kind of projects where customer comes to us for any of the design needs. Sometimes they say, hey DEP, I would like you to do benchmarking on my product, basically. Why don't you analyze competitive products from a market and benchmark, and so help me out to design my product by doing these competitive studies. So we do that. Sometimes they will ask us to, hey DEP, I would like you to create a design concepts. So them to create a design concepts. Sometimes we help them to do a detailed design. Sometimes they come to us, they would like to do a weight optimization or cost optimization. So we have several kind of engagements in terms of engineering services, and we do this throughout the geography. We have customers in US, we have customers in India, we have customers in Europe, we have customers in Japan and China as well. This is our second offering. And third offering is very, very important, which is our core offering. In fact, we started our company back in 1998 with this offering called technology, basically, engineering technology. We have our own software called Meshworks. What this Meshworks does, basically, it provides an engineering platform to all the customers to design their product much faster and much efficient. So I'll give an example to you. In a conventional way, if you're doing a design engineering, suppose you're designing a new car, what you do, you go back to to design a new car. The first step is that you need to create a concept of the car. So you go to your design board and draw some sketches, and from the sketches you develop a 3D model, and then you analyze that in the design world or analysis world. But the problem in the conventional process is that you are going to take 5 to 6 months to develop the CAD and then do the CAE. And sometimes you don't have that much time to launch a new product. And that's what our technology, this Meshworks technology, comes very handy, where you don't need to start from scratch. We enable designers and engineers in such a way that they can take any of their past design, any of their past, for example, in this car example, they can take any previous model of the car and they can morph that to new shape and geometry. So that way, you don't need to start from scratch. They can use this morphing to create a quick design concept. And then at the same time, if you're not meeting the performance, you do analysis. And if you're not meeting the performance, the subsequent design iterations also, using Meshworks, you can do very fast. We have parametrics, approach where you can have CAE models, which is parameterized for different shape, material, gauges, and all. And you can get a quick solution through this parametric CAE approach. So idea here is this: using Meshworks technology, you can save 40 to 60% time as compared to your regular product development, conventional way of doing that. So these are our three offerings. One is product development, second is engineering services, and third is Meshworks platform. It is kind of PLM-based software, which you can integrate to any of your design process or CAE process. But when it comes to Meshworks, the platform, I did talk about one aspect of Meshworks, which is focusing on creating a design concept and optimizing it. But there is also another aspect of Meshworks is there where you can basically build your CAE model, inside Meshworks itself. It has got many modules. One module is that you can take your design, which is coming from CATIA, UG, or any kind CAD packages, and you basically build those models using Meshworks. So that's one traditional way you can do that. Suppose sometimes customer wants to do that traditional way. They already have a design available and they want to mesh it, analyze it. So we facilitate that as well. But other example I gave it to you where we don't need to wait for the CAD, where we have previous model available. We just morph it to new shape, new geometry. We enable CAE engineers to they can create their own concept. They can create cross member, for example, automotive structure. They can create a cross members. They can create joints directly on the CAE model, and no need to go to back and forth CAD to CAD and all. But to answer your question precisely, yes, we do have complete interface with all the CAD packages like CATIA, UG, and Unigraphics and all. And we have complete interface with that. You can import your CATIA model into our software. You can mesh it. You can analyze it. And we also have a process called CAD morphing, where you can take CATIA model and you can morph that, to a different geometry and different shape and all. And you can put it back into CATIA model. So we have a complete interface there between all these CAD packages and Meshworks. To be honest with you, we are looking into this area. Right now, we are not gone into this AR kind of technology yet, but we have a future plan to go and penetrate in that area as well. So basically, as I mentioned to you, that we have our own product called ion sensor and e-scooter. For those kind of products, we are kind of in the area of where we are doing our own engineering, and we are taking our product to all the way to the prototype. In ion sensing example, we are going for manufacturing also, but for e-scooter, we are going up to prototype, and we are trying to sell that entire engineering to two-wheeler companies in India. So again, it is very customized solution. It varies from customer to customer. Some customer, we can go to the prototype stage. Some customers, we can do a small volume production. So it all depends on the dynamic nature of the business we are in. So for both the example, ion sensor example, and also the e-scooter example, we are trying to do direct sales, where we are reaching to all the customers directly. In example of ion sensor, we work with almost every OEMs, engine makers and all, and we are letting them know this technology exists, and we demonstrate that, putting on their engine as a trial so that they can verify that. And when it comes to the scooters and all, again, we are trying to reach out to all the two-wheelers companies that here's our e-scooter, here's advantage. We have added a lot of innovation, in this designs and all, and trying to convince customer, how our e-scooters are different as compared to other e-scooters being done in India or on the road. So basically, driving value engagements coming from DEPs on all this on the sales process basically. Yeah. Obviously, the contribution from the services side is higher because we do a big turnkey project like full vehicle development, design, and all. The dollar amount is always pretty high with those kind of projects. So we definitely but same time, even the software is much cheaper, as compared to in terms of revenue, much lower, but it's got more volume, and more profitability. So if you have to ask me the honest opinion, probably I would say still 60% is coming from software and remaining 40% coming from engineering services. Yeah, when it comes to engine ion sensor, it's a little bit different than your other sensor you're talking about, like LiDAR, radar kind of sensors and all, But since we are working with a lot of OEMs and major engine makers and all, they have their own cloud-based system, So example, in this ion sensor, suppose they wanted to secure the data coming from the vehicle testing and all, they are basically, confining into their cloud system. So they're not basically going to any third-party, third-party portfolio to try the things out. For example, when we give the ion sensors to these customers, they will do all the testing internally, and they will make sure the data does not get out of their premises. So that way, they're controlling all of this data internally. So there's not an issue with them when it comes to our ion sensor, basically. We also got impacted because of pandemic. Again, since we have many offerings, one offering got severe impact as compared to the other one. So let's talk about our services offering, right? So where we are working with many programs with the customer. Obviously, with the pandemic cost constraint, they canceled a lot of programs. So we also got affected because of that. But when it comes to technologies, our software technology, especially Meshworks and all, since that is based on virtual, based on computer and all, that is not got as affected as compared to services, because customers still using remotely the software, they're still doing all the engineering work there. But definitely on the sales side, we got some impact there, because every customer is very, very cost sensitive, because they were not knowing what is the future, how the pandemic will evolve. So based on that, we got some impact on the sales side, on the software front. But we have used this opportunity, to basically upgrade our software, add some more innovation, add our more capabilities, increase our capabilities. So again, we got impacted, but I'm glad that things are evolving better now as we are progressing. So we are seeing things are opening up now as we speak, and I'm pretty positive that pretty soon we'll be reaching to the pre-pandemic status. Adding a new customer is getting very challenged, because that how you add new customers, you had an opportunity to have face-to-face interaction with them, and you convince them about your products and all. And unfortunately, that is not there because of this pandemic. We literally in last 1 year or so, we never had any face-to-face interaction, live interaction or so. So that limit ourselves, to add new customer base. But however, since we have very good customers, they help us, they went all the way of referring us to many of their contacts. Hey, Mr. X, I've been using DEP from so many years. They're pretty good in providing technologies, providing services. Why don't you try them out? So that way, we were able to still add some new customers, but but on a separate strategy-wise, what we have done in this pandemic area, further penetrating the same customer. So suppose today customers using only for this instances for DEP, convincing them, hey, we're already working with you. Why don't we expand our area? We can offer you this also. We can offer you that. If you're doing a service for them, we can offer technology for them. If you're doing technology to them, we can offer services for them. So basically, kind of penetrating further the customer base. Well, since things are virtually, it definitely, I have to admit, it brought a lot of challenges. But surprisingly, same initially, even though we faced challenges, we have to basically adapt to this pandemic, post-pandemic situation where we have to allocate all the laptops. Earlier people used to work on the workstations and all. Now to make them mobile, we had to give the laptops to them and all. So it took some time to adapt to that. But fortunately, later on, we really got a productivity out of this. We realized it. People are more productive, because working from home, I don't know what's the reason behind that. But we see a better efficiency, even though it has got some challenges of communication and all. Obviously, since we cannot have face-to-face interaction, it brought a lot of challenges. But thanks to all of this video conferencing, Zoom, WebEx and all, so all of these issues, slowly we learned to that, and it was challenging for us for initial 1 or 2 months. But later on, it was, we kind of adapted to this, and I'm glad today we learned it, and we are doing very, very good as we speak. See, we have Zoom meetings, we have WebEx meetings. There's in fact, we being a service provider, we learned so many different portfolio in this case. Like Zoom is one, Microsoft Team is another one, Google is another one, Google Video is another one, and then WebEx is another one. So there's several portfolios are there. But again, it's driven by customers. Sometimes some customers are feeling comfortable use Microsoft Team, so we adapt to Teams. Some customers are feeling good with Zoom, so we adapt to Zoom. So we were very flexible of using this different portfolio just to make sure customers is having a smooth interaction with us. When it comes to digital twin, it has got many, explanation, many understanding. The way we understand digital twin is basically it is a mathematical or digital representation of actual product. For example, you have a car, you have a truck, you have an aircraft, you have physical aircraft, you have physical car, and you model the same virtually, and you analyze that virtually, you optimize that virtually. So it's kind of taking a same hardware product and monitoring it virtually and analyzing it virtually. One can ask this question: what's the big deal about this? We have been doing design and CAE, CAD and CAE from so many years or so. What is unique about digital twin? Why we are so much industry is talking about digital twin? The reason behind this is that when we are doing earlier design and CAE kind of work, engineering kind of work, that was very focused on certain assumptions. For example, if I'm designing a car, okay, I'm designing a car with some of the assumptions that these are the road conditions, these are the speed conditions, these are the driver habits. But those assumptions are very limited because how those assumptions were derived, those are derived by doing some physical test. They do a crash for certain cars. They do road tests for certain cars. But you have to understand, every test is very time consuming and costly. So when one hand, when we're releasing thousands of vehicles every day or so, but you can do handful of testing only for a given car program or given vehicle. So your assumptions are based on certain test samples, and obviously those test samples cannot cover all different kind of scenario, all different kind of conditions. So what happened in this scenario earlier? When you design your car or your product based on certain assumptions, certain limited assumption, you are going to get surprises later on the physical scenario. When you roll out the vehicle or roll out the product, you are going to see warranty failures. You are going to see a lot of surprises there. So because you are based on assumption. But now, thanks to this evolving technology in terms of IoTs and artificial intelligence, you can imagine. Every vehicle which you are rolling on the road, every car which you're rolling on the road are connected, well connected to a server, and every road conditions, dynamically being spread through IoT techniques or AI techniques back to the server. So now you can imagine, as compared to 5 or 6 test sample earlier days, now every vehicle which you're rolling out in the market is a test sample for you. So you can generate, thousands of test data. If any crash happens, or any failure happens, you can literally find out why the failure happened exactly, because now you have the test data coming from that vehicle directly to you through IoT system, and now you can basically fine-tune your design. You can learning from thousands of vehicle test data as compared to earlier where you were limited for 5 or 6 samples. Now you have thousands of vehicles available. It will help you basically. Now it's going to using this AI techniques is going to help you to take all those assumptions, redefine that, tweak that, based on actual hard data as compared to assumptions now, and optimize your product. So that way you can get a better better design, and you can reduce your warranty failures and all. So that's the beauty of this new IoT AI based digital twin. But to be honest with you, lots needs to be learned in this AI AR areas and all. I know people are talking about this, but we are talking about maybe 30, 40 years down to the road. But I don't see in near future, next 5 to 10 years, any kind of help coming from this area, which could cut down, the way you're talking. So I'm not seeing that is going to happen next 5 to 10 years in this area. In my honest opinion, we have several verticals: automotive, aerospace, consumer good, electronics, biomedical, oil and gas. So, but I have to admit that our majority of our customer base or revenue is automotive. But having said that, we also have quite a good presence in other areas as well. For example, I will give example of biomedical, where we are helping a lot of biomedical customers to basically design or optimize their products, like the stent, heart stent. You put that into your heart, for all these heart patients and all. So we help them to basically design the stent, optimize the stent for various conditions and all the implants, dental implants, knee implants. We help them to design and optimize that. So those are examples of biomedical. And aerospace also, we help aerospace industries to optimize for their interior designs, for their landing gears, various components or so. But again, as we speak, we are penetrating in those markets. But still, our main business is coming from automotive. But we have other verticals as well. The owner of this company, and all the leadership belongs to automotive industry, and we were part of one point of time we were part of GM, Chrysler, Ford, and all. So that's the reason we are in this, this Michigan area. See, when it comes to geography, we have a US, of course, Europe, China, Japan, India, Far East, and all. And when it comes to offerings wise, we have different offerings. For example, in US, we have all three offerings are well in line, with our expectation. We have a lot of customer based in service area. We have a lot of customers based in software areas, and in India also, and to some extent Japan as well. But other geographies, we are seeing more towards software as compared to services. So again, it's all depending on which geography we are in. But we have a lot of global customers, like we have a Chrysler, FCA, GM, General Motors, Ford, Honda, Nissan, Toyota, and they have presence in US. They have presence in some extent in Europe. They have presence in Japan, China, and all. So we work with them globally in all those geographies, and we help each other out. For example, if any sales happens in US, we let our counterpart know, in other geography, if the same customers are, presence in other geography. So we do a lot of this kind of selling, cross-selling as well, taking one success with the same customer in one geography and passing it to the other geography with the same customer. See, we don't do volume manufacturing. We are very limited for small manufacturing. So we work with a lot of partners. We have manufacturing partners identified, especially in India and to some extent in China as well. And again, since we are not doing a volume manufacturing, we are not seeing that much impact because of pandemic, to be honest with you. So we have basically office in Troy, Michigan, where I'm talking today. We have offices in India. I'm talking about design offices. So we have two offices in India. One is Chennai and Bangalore. And we do all kind of consulting design kind of work from either from our Troy office in Michigan, or we do it from India. And we last year or so, we started in Japan and China as well. So again, depending on the customer's need, sometime in US, they want to have cost-effective solutions coming from India and China. So we work with them. Sometime in India. So it all dynamically driven by the customer's requirement. Trust me, almost in automotive area, because our main revenue is coming from automotive, or our main customer base in automotive, things are getting a global nature, So things are we're getting very visible. If I'm sitting in India, I know all the requirements for US, all the crash requirement, all the performance requirements for US market. I know for Europe market and all, because now things are every OEM, every customers want to do a cross selling. They wanted to go to other geographies. So earlier we used to have a lot of challenges understanding all the compliances from various geographies or so. Not anymore. Things are pretty straightforward. All those compliance requirements are available through a public portal and websites and all. Anybody can go and download that. It's not a big deal anymore. Yeah, not with us directly, because again, I mentioned to you, we are doing very small manufacturing. So we didn't see that impact. But however, I learned from a lot of my customers, because we have many customers, and so some customers are waiting for prototypes, trials and all. So yes, we do see an impact because of pandemic on the supply chain. They were not able to get the parts in timely fashion, and delayed their timing and all. So we got impacted because our customer got impacted. Again, just to add to what I said earlier, since digital twin is evolving now, based on actual dynamic data, you can integrate that to your design engineering process, and you can optimize that. So our plan is that we want to integrate our Meshworks with the digital twin going forward. The advantage you get from Meshworks, suppose now you have a design, and now you have to optimize the design with the new data coming in dynamically, right? So as I mentioned earlier, the advantage you get to Meshworks is that you can literally parameterize your models. Suppose you have a design, say example of car design. You can literally parameterize all parameters on the CAE models directly. You can make the shape changes, your material changes, your gauge changes dynamically. And once you have data coming from the artificial intelligence or IoT methods, you can get the data, and you can basically feed that data as a target. You say, I want to reduce the warranty failure. I want to improve the performance. But you don't know, to improve the performance, what it would take on the design side what changes you need to do that, right? So that changes in a very highly automated way can come from Meshworks. So parametric approach, because you don't know what section you need to have to meet the performance, what material you need to have to meet the performance. So now Meshworks will enable those kind of tweaking the design in highly automated way through which you can meet the challenges coming from your IoT world, dynamic world, to improve your product. So basically Meshworks enables you to tweak your design much faster and highly automated way. No, they already have these features already enabled. So all our customers has these features. But right now, they are very limited because I said to you, no, they are not having this dynamic data available to them. No, so they are designing and engineering their product based on the few test samples. So now, thanks to IoTs and all, they can use the same Meshworks, and they can put a constraint, in the design. Hey, I have this constraint coming from manufacturing. I have this constraint coming from the road, in terms of performance. And here's my parameter. You can this material ranges I can play the material changes. This much section change I can do. This much thickness change I can do. And hey, Meshworks, give me a solution by changing this permutation combination, because we don't know what combination of thickness versus material versus shape will give me a robust solution which will not have any problem in the test area, right? So Meshworks enables now for dynamically, you can optimize that. And also, as you rightly asked this question, how dynamically we can do that. That's the beauty of the Meshworks, because everything is in a parametric domain. Once you get the test data comes to you, literally you can feed that, and with the push of button, you can submit a automated way, in cluster, using cluster. You can submit thousands of CAE models. Each model has got different shape, different material, different gauge, and you can optimize that for a given constraint. If your performance is constraint, if you have manufacturing criteria is constraint, you can say, hey, I don't want to have a deflection more than that. I don't want to have a frequency more than that. And what Meshworks will do will dynamically is going to change your model and run it through cluster and give you an optimized solution to you, which meet your frequency targets, which meets your crash target, which meets your stiffness target, or whatever targets you might have. So Meshworks enables that dynamically. You can do that now. Yes. You can put as many customization you want for these solutions. So suppose you have a vehicle which you are rolling out to US market, you can put the compliances requirement for US market, and you can optimize your solution for the US market. Same vehicle if you are rolling it out in Europe, Europe has a different requirement. So you can same vehicle, you say, hey, I want to optimize this for Europe requirement. So you can feed that dynamically for different geography, different market. You can do that. It's highly customizable basically. So we have a lot of innovation in our technology. When it comes to Meshworks, I don't think any other competitor is even close to what we offer. You will not find a technology like morphing technology available in the market. How we are offering to our customers. You might find one or two instances where other softwares might be showing that kind of capabilities, but to use that gets very challenging. I have a lot of customers who are migrating from those softwares to our software because they like the process. They think they really see the advantage of coming from morphing process, but with the current tool what they have, they can't do that. Even though this current software company they offer, but using it very difficult. They have to literally get thousands of hours of training or very highly experienced resources to expertise and to use the tool. Not everybody can use this, but thanks to our software is very easy to learn. In fact, half a day's training will be good enough for any CA engineer to learn and adapt it. So as compared to other software available in the market, innovation is what differentiates us, and ease of use also what differentiates us as well. We are a growing company. We have a 500+ employee worldwide, and out of which I would say 40-45% of people are working towards engineering, engineering software solutions, engineering solutions basically. And around 20-25 are dedicated for software technology, like developers, and continuously adding the innovation in the software side. And remaining are basically, on the various sales and admin, HR. So it's kind of, 40-45% on the engineering side, 25-30% on the technology side, software technology side, and remaining other areas, sales, other HR and all. As you know that this technologies are continuously evolving. Every they also we are learning new and new technologies, through AI, through IoTs and all. We have to basically continuously upgrade our product to basically interface with the new technologies. We have to basically plan 5-10 years ahead, to what this, where the industry is heading to. For example, the automotive industry. We know that everyone is going towards electrification. So based on those kind of needs, we have to upgrade ourselves. So whatever capabilities we are having, now we need to upgrade so that like down to the road 5-10 years, when every vehicle will be autonomous vehicle or every vehicle will be electric vehicle, how to cope up with that. So we are investing, considering those kind of scenarios 5-10 years down the road. We are basically in electrification capabilities. We are adding tons of capabilities there. Technology wise, adapting to this IoTs, AI methods, making our software integrate with that, maybe VR method also in near future. So again, we are kind of looking forward for 5-10 years down the road, or where industry is heading to, and accordingly prioritizing our both services and technologies. We already providing some solution to different sectors and all. Again, I give a relative terms to you that we still work in aerospace. We have quite a few customer base in aerospace, but it's not as strong as an automotive. For example, for defense sectors and all, we are helping quite a few defense customers for their defense vehicles. Different aspects of defense. For example, blast simulations, blast optimization. They have different requirements. Again, I cannot talk in more details about that. But whatever requirements they are having, either through technology, either through services, we are supporting them. So again, since we have two offerings, let me explain one by one. Software-wise, we see a big market in India, because since we have Meshwork software, which gives all the flexibility for customers to use the same software either for model building, meshing, analysis, or for doing optimization. So I do see a lot of CAE customers in India who can get benefit from our software. So I do see a big market there. But services-wise also, I do see a big market there, because sooner or later, India is also going to go for electrification. So whatever capabilities we have in India, in US right now, speak, I'm pretty sure those are going to be needed in near future in India too. I already seen that, especially like Mahindra and some other companies, they're putting a lot of efforts in electrification area. So I strongly feel that we having these capabilities will help us to benefit in India as well. So we can expand our services, services opportunities in India, working with all of these customers who already started working in electrification area. Well, the first and very precise message is that worst is behind us. I can proudly say that, happily say that things are opening up, thanks to all this vaccination, all the initiatives that are being done right now. And we learned a lot in this pandemic. We learned how to work virtually, how to make us more efficient. And, even though this was a hard time for all of us, but it gives a good learning. And using this new learning, which we had in this period, we can design our product better and better in near future. So again, the worst is behind us, and I'm pretty sure market is opening up, and we have to do a lot of catch-up work here. So whatever program got cancelled or delayed and all, now those things are going to pick up again. So we're looking forward for that opportunities, and let's be very positive. And I'm pretty sure all of us will be in good shape in the near future.